Good evening, Bournemouth fans. Gareth Southgate has named his squad for the next internationals in the Euro qualifiers, and Callum Wilson, good for him, he's got a call-up. But our star English performer has not. Once again, he's been overlooked. Find it very odd. On the one hand, I'm actually quite pleased he's not going to get injured and play under a manager that's obviously a dick. I mean, what is he looking at? Gareth Southgate, I've got to say, I don't quite share the love for Southgate, and it's not just because of this Steve Cook thing at all. I know we had a brilliant World Cup and people were down Old Christchurch Road, hanging off the lamppost, loving it. But the fact is, we couldn't beat Tunisia in 90 minutes. It was in stoppage time. We beat them. Yes, we beat Panama. We lost to Belgium. Couldn't beat Colombia in 90 minutes. We beat Sweden 2-0, fair enough. And then, obviously, couldn't beat Croatia. Couldn't beat Belgium. Yet, we finished fourth, semi-finalist. Everyone was loving it. When we come up against teams fairly decent, take the Czech Republic last time, we were absolutely shocking against them. And whilst you got Tyrone Mings, who's being included, brilliant, but not being funny, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Kosovo, we conceded 3 against Kosovo, of course. They're not exactly stern tests. But it's just the personnel that he's chosen instead of Steve Cook. Now, Steve Cook's stats have been very, very favourable. Bournemouth have got a positive goal difference for the first time in God knows when. We haven't conceded in 3 games. And individually, his stats look incredible. He was highlighted in the national media across the weekend, Match of the Day, Sky Sports, TalkSport, loads of different channels that are suggesting that he should get England call-ups, but the only person who doesn't recognise it is the main man in charge. So I don't know how he picks his sides. It just doesn't make any sense. Is it an age thing? How can it be? Callum Wilson, who's been pretty shocking for us since he last came back off international duty, he's only 10 months and 17 days younger than Steve Cook. So I wouldn't exactly say one's an old age pensioner and one's a spring chicken. Callum Wilson's form has been relatively poor. Whilst I'm really pleased for him to get picked, it just seems really odd. And when you see some of the quality that's been named for England, you start to think, what the hell is he watching? I just feel really sad for Cookie that he hasn't been, because this is the prime. This has been the best part of his Bournemouth form, you've got to say. Previously, when he didn't get picked, you can kind of understand it. He always had a mistake in him, but he's managed to whittle away those errors, and he hasn't been found out for a long time. And if Gareth Southgate is supposedly picking a team based on form, well, I just don't get it. Been reading some tweets. Gavin Peacock's Gillet Robbie. I've never felt that Steve Cook was ready for an England call-up until now, that is. He's cut the errors from his game and has been superb this season. The stats bear that out for all that don't see him every week. It's baffling that he's not included today. Completely agree. Tom Jordan. I cannot find a single reason why Steve Cook hasn't made the England squad. Again, he's used the B word. It's utterly baffling. You should have said bollocks, mate, because that's what it actually is. Lord William Snootsworth. England squad. Gomez hardly played all season. Stones hardly played all season. Mings worse stats than Steve Cook. Sorry, Steve, old boy, you should be in that squad. You're not. I don't bloody understand it. And I could really go through. Beth, what more does Steve Cook have to do to get an England call-up? Liam Grace. Cook once again overlooked by England, who picked Mings. Cook has made more than double the amount of tackles, double the amount of interceptions, and almost double the amount of aerial battles been won. Less errors leading to goals, more clearances. Southgate, hang your head in shame. That's what I feel. Mings, I like the guy, but he's playing for a team that is not overly great at the moment. Yeah, I mean, they're holding their own in the Premier League, but look at the amount of goals they've conceded. It's not particularly great. I just do not understand it. Really disappointed. Check out his Every Touch video on AFC. I'll pop it there. AFCB TV ran a feature. And I bet you Eddie Howe's going to be questioned at the press conference tomorrow about it. And I would just like a journalist to say, what more does Steve Cook have to do? The problem is, each and every different period of time that he's not picked, his chances diminish. It is now or never. Now, how can he it wasn't Gareth Southgate, but the days Ricky Lambert was selected at one point. He was about 50 when he got selected. I don't understand it. And Steve Cook, I've just got to say, mate, just keep on doing what you're doing, and I hope your head doesn't drop, because it doesn't deserve to. Because us Bournemouth fans and wider football fans, wider people in the football community know how much you are worthy of an England call-up, and yet it hasn't happened. Even if he was just in the squad and didn't get played, at least he'd be in the mix. And maybe Gareth Southgate could learn a little bit more about him. Obviously, Gareth Southgate's got his Villa connections, so it's going to be loving a bit of Tyrone Mings. But for me, I'm just utterly gutted for Steve Cook. Steve Cook, of course, was one of the characters that led us up the leagues, through the Championship, into the Premier League, and it's documented in this book here. Thought I'd pop it on YouTube if you haven't heard the podcast, because we're giving away the Eddie Had a Dream book. It's a chunky book. Look at that bad boy. Look at it. It's a monster. And it's got so many anecdotes about Eddie Howe. Peter Bell is the author of Cherry Chimes, which is an AFC Bournemouth website, and it goes on from his playing career, player share. We've come from League 2, Championship highs, the Premier League, all that kind of stuff. And all it is a simple retweet that will win you this book. So check out our Twitter feed, twitter.com/AFCB podcast, and you can win that. You can double your chances on Facebook by going to our Facebook page and commenting on our last post, and also Instagram as well. So 3 chances to win the Eddie Had a Dream book. I'm just really annoyed, and I'm just sad for Steve Cook, really. But it's good to keep our defence together, and if there's less chance of Steve Cook being injured for England, then how can I complain? I've always been a club over country man, and I know some people follow follow England around wherever they go. And, credit to you guys, but does it fuck me off when we lose 2-1 to the Czech Republic in Prague? No. Does it annoy me when AFC Bournemouth lose 2-1 to whoever, 3-1 to Leicester? Yeah, it does. It kills me. So I don't know. I'm just really gutted. But Gareth Southgate, not sure how you watch games, but I think you need to watch a few more and maybe analyse those stats a little bit closer. Southgate, tonight, you're not the one. You don't turn me on, and you can fuck off. Back in the net! Back in the net!